There's something about the smell of citrus and spices that makes the whole house feel like Christmas. As I get ready to decorate for the holidays, I thought I would start a simmer pot on the stove. Fresh oranges, a little lemon, and cinnamon for that classic cozy warmth. It's such a small thing, but it truly transforms the atmosphere. The scent just goes all through the house, making the perfect backdrop for decorating the tree, hanging garlands, and just slowly easing into the season. While I'm slicing these oranges for my Christmas simmer pot, I've been trying to slow myself down a little bit. Once the holiday season starts, everything just kind of picks up speed, and I feel like I'm constantly jumping from one thing to the next, decorating, cooking, running errands, trying to keep the house somewhat together, and if I'm not intentional, the whole month just flies right by me. So I've been making a point to enjoy the little things more this year. Even simple moments like this, just being in the kitchen, cutting up oranges, getting something cozy going on the stove. Nothing big or fancy, but it makes the whole house feel warm and peaceful, and I think sometimes these small homemaking moments end up being the ones I remember most. I love how the season is filled with tiny routines we don't even think about, like hanging a wreath on the front door, fluffing the tree, laying out a few stems of greenery, or putting a batch of cinnamon sticks in a pot to simmer. It's all so simple, but it adds so much comfort to the house. And honestly, that's what I want more of this year. Not rushing around, not trying to make everything perfect, just actually being present and enjoying our home while we're in it. Letting myself slow down, soak in the cozy moments, and enjoy the process instead of racing to the finish line. So that's my goal this Christmas. More quiet moments like this, more breathing room, and more of these tiny traditions that make the season feel special. Okay, I've got my pot of water warming up and the oranges added to the water. And now I'm just going to add some cranberries and now some cinnamon sticks. These are what make it smell like Christmas to me. I usually add 2 or 3, just depends on how strong you like it. You can also add things like clove or just a sprig of rosemary or pine if you want something a little more outdoorsy. I love adding greenery. It just reminds me of fresh garlands at Christmas time. Isn't it so pretty and festive? Now I'll just give it a stir. Oh, it is starting to smell good already. You know, this always reminds me of when I was younger and my mom would be cooking something warm and spicy, and you didn't even have to know what it was. You could just smell it from the other room and it made everything feel calm. That's exactly what this does for me. I'm putting away the little doll until next season. Now I'm clearing off the mantle completely. I like to start fresh every year with my Christmas mantle. No leftovers from fall, just a totally blank space so I can see what I'm working with. It feels good to reset and have a clean surface again. And these rust-colored pillows, I loved them for fall, but they're heading back to storage for now. They really did their job, giving everything a warm, cozy feel. Chris helped me move the primitive cabinet, and now I'm just sweeping up a bit. I'm adding a little greenery around the base of this candlestick. I love adding touches of greenery like this because they don't seem overwhelming. Now I'm just adding some of these peel and stick hooks so I can hang my garland. I feel like greenery is the easiest way to make a space look instantly Christmassy. without having to do a whole lot. When everything is simple and you're just slowly adding little bits of Christmas around the house, it's peaceful and it feels fun instead of rushed. This is just a simple little garland, but I love it because it has these tiny red berries tucked in, and they're not super bright or loud, just enough to give it that classic Christmas look. I like to start by just laying the garland across the mantle and then adjusting it as I go. I'm not big on making it perfect. I kind of prefer when it looks a little natural, like it could have been gathered from outside and draped here. And those little pops of red, I don't know why, but they just make me smile. It's such a small detail, but it brings the whole mantle to life. It ties in with everything else I'll be adding later without feeling too busy. This is the part of decorating I love the most. Just layering things in slowly and watching the room start to shift into Christmas. It's so simple, but it changes the whole feeling of the space. Now to decide which color of stockings to use, I have red or I have black. I decided to go with the black ones. They also come in what I originally called red, but technically it's more of a deep burgundy. Both colors are so pretty, but I just loved how the black looks on my mantle. Both of these adorable primitive style stockings can be found in my shop, Our Prairie Farmhouse Goods. These stockings are simple, rustic, and perfect if you love that cozy farmhouse vibe. Now I'm going to use another one of these little sticky hooks. I know that's not the proper term for them, but I can't really think of what the actual term is, so I'm calling them sticky hooks. But they don't hurt the paint when you peel them off. But that's what I'm using to hang the stockings, and you can just stick them about anywhere, so that's why I really like to use them. So here is the second little stocking. It is day 2 of Christmas decorating. As you can see behind me, I did do a little bit more to the mantle last night after I turned the camera off. And then Chris and I had supper and he brought the tree in for me. And so I did play around with a little bit of the decor and try to figure out a little bit better of a plan. And so other than that, that's all I've done. So let's decorate the tree now. I'm starting out by stringing the Christmas lights around the tree, and again this year I am using the battery operated lights. I used them last year and I just love that you can set them to come on at a certain time, and then you don't really have to set them again unless you want them on at a different time, and they stay on for several hours. They're just really convenient, and you don't really have to worry about having an electric outlet nearby, which is a good thing because I don't have one on this wall behind the tree, and so they just work great for me. They also have several different settings for the different patterns of flashing or blinking and twinkling, but I just like them to stay on, just nice and steady. It's a good thing I don't have too big of a tree either, because I can just barely get the lights to the top. Now to put this garland on the stairs. I have always wanted a two-story house ever since I was a little girl for probably no other reason than to be able to have Christmas garland on the stair rail. I'm going to be tying it on using some twine, so I asked Chris to come help me so he can hold it and I can tie it. This is the Norfolk pine garland, and it just has that classic Christmas look and feel. I'm going to drape it along the railing and just let it hang naturally. I love that it looks full, but yet just a little rustic and just not super stiff or staged. Now that the garland is up, I'm going to add some of these red berry stems throughout. I love how they pop against the deep green of the Norfolk pine, and they just feel festive and classic and tie in with my garland that I put on the fireplace. I like to tuck them in here and there, spacing them out evenly, but keeping it a little natural. You don't want it to look too perfect, just enough to catch your eye. See how those little pops of red really brighten it up? It's such a simple touch, but it makes the garland feel a lot more special and Christmassy. I think one more strand to hang down from the top and it will be just the perfect amount. Now it's time to add some of these little stems of greenery with red berries into the tree. I love using them because they add a pop of color and texture. It really brings the tree to life. I just weave them between the branches, spacing them out so it looks full but still natural. You don't have to overthink it, just place them where it feels right. See how those little touches of red and green make such a difference? It's amazing what a few simple stems can do to make the tree feel cozy and festive. I have a few more to find just the right place for on the tree. I think that will do it. Now I'm going to add these black velvet ribbon bows to the tree. I love how they give a little touch of elegance and contrast against all the greenery and red berries. Alright, that's a wrap for tonight. The tree is all decorated and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Good morning, y'all. I wanted to give you a look at all the Christmas decor around the keeping room, from the tree to the garlands and little touches here and there. It's really starting to feel like the holidays. I love how adding a few simple touches like the red berries, velvet bows, and greenery really makes the space feel warm and inviting. Every little detail comes together to create that cozy farmhouse Christmas vibe. Well, that's it for today's Christmas decorating. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I put everything together and got a little peek at our cozy keeping room all dressed up for the holidays. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can follow along with more decorating, home, and farmhouse inspiration. And I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite little holiday touch this year? Drop a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.